Hey everybody. So today is actually my 3-year anniversary, which is kind of crazy to think about. Um, 3 years ago today, I got my first tee shot, and my whole entire life started changing for the better. Um, for everybody who's avidly watched my videos, you kind of know the struggles that I've been dealing with for the past 3 years. But I wouldn't change any of it. I mean, I've had inconsistencies in my tee levels. I've had inconsistencies doing my shot itself. Big trucks driving by. I've gone months without taking my hormones. I wanted everything to just stop completely. I didn't want to have to deal with it. I still get my menstrual cycle. It drives me crazy. Before I started transitioning, I thought that transitioning was going to change everything, and it changed a lot of things for the most part. For those of you who know, I started transitioning because I tried to kill myself. And I tried to kill myself because I didn't think that I was ever going to be able to live my authentic life. I didn't think that I was ever going to be happy. I didn't think that my body was ever going to reflect what my mind and my soul felt. And I thought that there was only one way to deal with it, and that was to get rid of the problem completely. Well, I was wrong. So now here I am, 3 years transitioning, and I feel amazing. It's been 9 months that I went without testosterone. I've been back on my tee for the past 2 months, and I feel really, really good. I've gotten mentally unstable throughout my transition, mainly when I wasn't on my hormones. I have borderline personality disorder, and that tends to flare up when I'm not on my hormones, and I do stupid things, and I hurt myself, and, I've had a couple of hospital trips, we'll put it at that. But every single time that I felt really down, the only thing that kept me coming back up was the thought of my transition. These past 3 years have been by far the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced, even with all the heartache and the aggravation and the complications and the loss of patience and the frustration with myself because I can't do my shot. It's not something you give up on. And I thought about giving up many times, and I could never do it. I couldn't bring myself. It was more of a, I may not be on hormones right now, but once I get my health insurance and, once I figure out how to do my shot again without the anxiety, I'll get back into it. And I did. So it's been 2 months since I've taken my hormone shot. I feel physically, mentally clear. And it's crazy that just something as simple as a shot of hormones can kind of determine whether or not you're going to be okay this week. How is your mental health? Well, that all depends. Did you take your shot this week? And this is something that I had realized. The longer I went without taking my shot, the more and more mentally unstable I had started to become. So now, I still get a little frustrated, I still get angry sometimes, but I'm not nowhere nearly as bad as I used to be. I don't want to hurt myself anymore. I want to wake up every single day, and I want to live my life. And I want to live my life as my authentic self, and I want to walk through the streets of Holyoke or Worcester or Leicester or Amherst or Greenfield or wherever the hell I happen to find myself, and I want to strut down that street with all of the confidence that I have, because I've never had it. People used to tell me all the time, oh, you're such an attractive person, this, that, and the third. I don't think that way. I don't think I'm a cute kid. I think I'm much better looking now. I don't think that I'm hideous, but being a man suits me. This body with this brain and these clothes and this strut that I have and the tone of my voice and the way my words flow out of my mouth, it all suits me so much better than being a woman ever could have. When I came out, it was kind of like a 50-50. Half the people are like, oh my God, this totally makes sense, this fits you, I can see it, this, that, and the third, and then half of the people were like, bro, where the fuck is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Is that a serious question? But I guess to some people it was. But God, guys, holy hell, 3 years. 3 years that I've been transitioning, and 3 years that I have learned to love myself even more every single fucking day. That's a blessing. And that is something that I never thought that I was going to be able to experience. So since we're talking about my manniversary, there's somebody in my life who deserves a shout out. Ashley motherfucking Labossiere. Okay? Ashley and I have been friends. Hold on, big truck. Ashley and I have been friends for 8 years. Ashley knew me way before I started my transition. And Ashley and I were just each other's dykes. And that was kind of that. When I first came out about transitioning, Ashley didn't even blink an eye. She's my bitch. And that's how we greet each other. Bitch! You know, I fucking love you, dude. Ashley has hands down been one of my best friends for the past 8 years. Her and I have never gotten into an argument. You know, we talk like once a month. We see each other like every other couple of months. We're busy. We're adults. You know, we're living our lives. But Ashley is the only person who has hands down, unconditionally, always been there for me. This bitch drove like 4 or 5 hours in a day just so I could get my top surgery because she refused to let me miss it. So, to everybody who's followed my transition, thank you. Like, I don't make my videos for the popularity of it. I make my videos to kind of help people understand what our lives are like and what we go through. And there are people like Ashley and my best friend La, who has also been one of my very good friends for about 13 years now. You guys are awesome, and I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And yeah, there have been people throughout my transition who have always been here, but there have been people who I've never had a fight with. Ever. In 8 years. Ashley, I don't know what I would do without you. I definitely would not be standing flat if it wasn't for you. You drove me all the way to my top surgery, and for that I will forever be thankful. But yeah, guys, 3 years, and I'm sorry that this video kind of sucks. I'm just really like very overwhelmed with the fact that it's actually been 3 years. I've gotten to the point in my transition when I look back on my life, I don't ever picture Autumn per se. Like, I always only ever picture Dalton, and I know to people who don't transition, it kind of sounds crazy that I talk about her like she was a different person, but you hit a point where you don't ever feel like you were that person. You don't. And I don't, like, I know that I was her, and I know that, you know, she is the one who walked this earth as me for the majority of my life, and I've only had this for the past 3 or 4 years. But it doesn't ever feel like it was me. And when I look back on it, even when I, you know, think back on memories of me in high school, I imagine this. I don't imagine, you know, super dyke with long hair and big boobs and sports bras and extra large shirts to hide it. I don't picture that. I picture Dalton and his slim-fitting clothes now with his super flat chest and all of the confidence in the world that I can muster, and that is who I am, and that makes these past 3 years so worth everything that I've gone through. So here's 3 years down, guys. Let's see what the rest of forever brings.